Hello there and welcome back to Milk It Reviews. I said I'd do another knife, right, and I have. Right, for those of you that saw my review on this 511 knife, right, at the end of it I said I was quite taken by the design and everything there is about this. Right, so I had to go onto the website and select another one, and the CS1 Tanto folder, which this is, really did tick all the boxes. I have this thing about Tanto blades. I find them incredibly powerful. Right, I like the combination of the serrated edge and the plain edge, right, and I just find that that really does give a good combination. I tend to cut a lot of rope and nylon strapping, and to have the addition of the serrated edge there really does help an awful lot. You notice that this, the same as the other one, I don't know if you can see that quite clearly. Yes, you should be able to see that. It's an open frame design, which at the end of the day, right, that helps an awful lot, right, if you need to keep the knife squeaky clean all the time. I mean, knife cleaning is obviously a vitally important part of everyday use of them, but when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, if you're using your knife at all for any reason in conjunction with food preparation, being able to clean that right out is very important, and that open frame design assists beyond belief. You've got a liner lock in there, which is becoming quite popular and standard amongst an awful lot of sort of tactical and hunting knives. Right, works very well. You've got simple one-handed opening and closing with this. Right, can't really fault it at all. It's like an absolute razor when it comes out of the box. Right, now I've done a fair few knife reviews in my time, and I tend to think to myself, you can tell an awful lot by a knife manufacturer by just how sharp their knives are when they ship them to the customer. And some knives which you've probably encountered in your past, they really are blunt. These aren't. These are sharp. Right, I do have a tendency, I strop knife blades on the back of a leather belt, and I did get in the habit of doing it. You know, you buy a new knife and you strop it for 10 minutes. Well, when I actually got this, the same as the other 511 folder that I just showed you, I actually took a good close look at the edge of the sharp edge, right, with a magnifying glass to see whether there's any burrs on there which you would normally remove by stropping, and no, there wasn't. Right, so whatever they're sharpening these with in the factory, right, really is a superb method. Right, you know, it's very good. Right, the blade itself, right, 3.75 inches long, and it's 3.7 millimeters thick. It's Oz 8, right, hardened steel, and it sharpens. I say it sharpens beautifully. Right, I've used this a lot. I always do make sure that I use a knife quite a bit before reviewing it to give a better evaluation of the actual product. And this knife is, well, you can never say it is exactly as sharp as it was when it came out of the box, because with use you will start to take the edge off of it. But when it comes down to it, that knife is still incredibly sharp, and it's done a lot of cutting of rope, wood, seatbelt type nylon webbing material. So it's a very capable knife. The blade itself is bead blasted, right, cuts down on any reflection or glint that you might find if you're trying to use it in a covert situation. The pocket clip, whatever you want to call it, let's just close it. I really don't want to slice myself open while I'm being filmed. The pocket clip is very strong, right, and it's multi-positional, so you can have it either end on either side. You can just make out the small holes. I'm sure you're aware of how you change this. But the good thing about it is you get the little Torx screwdriver with the knife. So there's no fumbling around, and I did have that once before with a knife from someone else, that, you know, a different manufacturer. Sorry, I wanted to change it and they hadn't put that particular tool in the box. So off down the shop I had to go and buy one. Ambidextrous design, which is great because, as you all know by now, I mean, you've got ambidextrous thumb studs there. I'm left-handed, right, and my mother said all the best people are. Right, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, there's an awful lot of knives that are out there that are designed purely for right-hand users, right, and I find that a tad frustrating and annoying. The scales, the grips, whatever you want to call them, they are a fiberglass reinforced nylon, right, they are shatterproof. I can vouch for this one because I dropped that on concrete and it didn't even put a dent in it, right, which was quite nice. The actual design of the grip of the knife is good. I've got big hands, and when you look at the way you have these scalloped edges, right, on the finger grooves on this, they really do lend themselves to a very comfortable hold. Like the finger chowl, right, gives you incredibly good control. It gives a good firm grip on this. It's not going to move, and that feels absolutely rock solid in my hand. The bit that makes me laugh is that you have this jimping on the butt end of the handle, right, which is clearly for that type of grip, right. And having said that, this grip, the way it's been designed, works just as well and just as comfortably holding it like that as it does like that. So there's a lot of field testing gone into these knives, right? And when you look at the price of them, it's quite astonishing that they're actually turning these out at that price. I don't mention prices in reviews, as you know, purely and simply because everybody's got their favourite retailer, and at the end of the day, one might be a bit cheaper than the other. That's for you guys to check it out. You got Google, you can go have a look on there and find the best deal for you. The knife itself, it's just 141 grams. So when it comes down to it, it's very lightweight. You don't even really know you've got it in your pocket, to be frank with you, right? It's I carry a knife all of the time. I've got so many knives I've lost count of them, and I go in fits and fads, and 1 minute I'll have one next, right, and so forth. But when it comes down to it, it's they are a very good, capable knife. The steel they're made out of makes for very easy sharpening. Right, and at the end of the day, it's a steel that holds a good edge, so you cannot ask for a better combination than that. One thing I did forget to mention, if you look down inside the actual, underneath the scales, you've got a full steel body to the knife. Okay, so there's none of this half steel, half nylon malarkey that you get with some knives that are out there. Any questions that you may have, please feel free to ask. There is one bit I forgot. I always forget something. If you watch my videos, you'll find out that I do. Overall length of this knife from tip to tip, 8 3/4 inches long open and 4 3/4 inches long closed. Right, and that was the only bit that I forgot. Wow, I'm getting better. Right, but sorry, no, come back. Any questions that you may have in relation to this or any other product that you've seen, feel free to drop me a line. I don't mind checking it out for you. If I don't know the answer, I'll find the answer for you. Right, it's really as simple as that. It might take a little bit of time sometimes, but at the end of the day, you will go away with the right answer under your belt. If you're new to Milk It Reviews, please hit that subscribe button. You'll find that there's lots more videos coming out in the very near future. And if you've subscribed, then you get the updates. Right, so thanks for watching. Enjoy yourselves. Bye-bye.